All right, let's dive right into this explainer and demystify exactly what makes a top-tier hygiene product manufacturer tick. Today, we're looking directly at the official factory data of Quanzhou Shenghongda Hygiene Products Company. If you're involved in global trade, retail, or supply chain management, you already know that finding a reliable OEM or ODM partner is literally like finding a needle in a haystack. So we're going to unpack their entire operation, from raw material science all the way to global export logistics, to see how a leading factory actually operates.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll meet Shenghongda. Second, we'll look at how they engineer these hygiene products. Third, their quality and eco-standards. And finally, their 6-step B2B workflow.
Let's start with Section 1, Meet Shenghongda, Establishing Trust and Scale.
They set up shop back in 2004, and that number is highly significant because in global B2B manufacturing, history is absolutely everything. You need to know exactly who you're dealing with. It means they bring over 2 solid decades of dedicated engineering and raw material procurement expertise to the table. In an industry where quality control and material sourcing can easily make or break a retail brand, surviving and thriving as a global OEM and ODM for this long, yeah, that speaks volumes.
And then there's the sheer physical scale of the place. 8,000. They operate a massive, state-of-the-art automated manufacturing facility spanning over 8,000 square meters. Inside, they employ a highly skilled workforce of over 100 personnel running high-speed, fully automated production lines. This is definitely not some small back-alley workshop. It's a highly optimized, high-volume production environment built to supply retail brands across 5 different continents.
Geographically, they're strategically headquartered in Quanzhou, Fujian, which lets them utilize the massive Xiamen port as a rapid global export hub. But here's what I find really fascinating. They don't just manufacture private label products for other distributors. They actually produce highly successful proprietary brands of their own, namely Cute Baby and Baby Loves. Why does that matter? Because it means they intimately understand the consumer market, since they're out there actively competing in it themselves.
Moving right along to Section 2, Engineering Hygiene Products, the Microtech.
Look, there's a huge misconception out there that a diaper or a sanitary pad is just a bunch of cotton packed together. No way. In reality, it's highly advanced material science, and understanding this tech is key to understanding product quality. If we map out their 3 core product lines against their advanced technological features, it gives us a really clean snapshot of their engineering output. We've got baby care, adult incontinence care, and feminine and family hygiene. They aren't just taking a lazy one-size-fits-all approach, they're applying incredibly specific material science to solve distinct problems for very different demographics.
Take their baby care line, for example. The real magic here is the SAP, super absorbent polymer, combined with dual-core diffusion technology. Now, SAP is this incredible functional polymer that instantly locks away hundreds of times its own weight in liquid, turning it straight into a gel. But if a single core faces a sudden rush of liquid, it can saturate and leak. To fix that, Shenghongda uses a dual-core structure to rapidly and evenly diffuse that liquid. This actively prevents moisture from bouncing back to the surface, an issue the industry calls strike-through. That perfectly protects delicate baby skin from irritation and diaper rash. Pair that with ultra-soft breathable back sheets and 360-degree elastic stretch, and you've got a seriously engineered product.
Now pivot over to their adult incontinence line, and the engineering goals shift entirely. Here, the challenges are larger liquid volumes and preserving dignity. For this, they engineer high-capacity cores equipped with advanced odor neutralizer technology. This safely absorbs and neutralizes the ammonia odors generated by liquid breakdown, which is just vital for maintaining a patient's dignity and improving room air quality. On top of that, the integrated wetness indicators serve as a brilliant visual guide. The lines actually change color when capacity is reached, significantly reducing the physical burden on caretakers who no longer have to do constant manual checks. It's a real game changer.
All right, Section 3, Quality and Eco-Standards, the Buyer's Shield.
Because having great tech in a sample means absolutely nothing if the factory can't produce it reliably and legally at scale. I know it's easy to look at this and just see an alphabet soup of acronyms, but you have to realize that ISO 9001 ensures standardized quality across every single batch, while ISO 14001 and the CE mark act as your ultimate shield. The CE mark is literally your mandatory passport to get into the highly regulated European Union market. And to top it off, their factory is physically field audited by SGS, one of the world's leading inspection agencies. That provides absolute verified proof of their manufacturing capabilities for overseas buyers.
And their compliance goes deep into ecological standards too. They strictly source their raw fluff pulp, a core component of those absorbent layers, exclusively from FSC, or Forest Stewardship Council certified forests. This is a massive operational point. It guarantees that the wood materials come from sustainable, legally harvested, and conflict-free logging operations. This aligns perfectly with the eco-purchasing trends of modern retail brands, and of course, those sensitive consumers who demand sustainable supply chains without harmful chemical additives.
Out on the automated production lines, they run 4 rigorous QC tests. First, fluid strike-through checks to verify that the SAP cores are absorbing fast enough to prevent re-wetting. Second, tension testing, because a pull-up diaper breaking at the seam during wear is a disaster. Third, weight consistency checks, using automated sensors to guarantee uniform material distribution in every single pad. And finally, text audits. Guys, this is vital. Failing a text audit on your packaging could literally get your entire shipping container seized at customs because of a misprinted barcode or a missing safety label. Shenghongda actively prevents this.
Finally, Section 4, the 6-step B2B workflow from concept to global logistics.
Let's zoom out to the macro-level global supply chain and see how a brand manager goes from a simple idea to holding a finished product ready for retail shelves. It follows this strict, seamless 6-step workflow. Step 1 is consultation, nailing down exact sizes, FSC material choices, and budgets. Step 2 is sampling. They produce physical prototypes for lab and fit testing, and remarkably, they actually offer these for free to qualified distributors, completely de-risking those early stages. Step 3 is packaging design, locking in custom artwork and those crucial CE marks. Step 4 is the actual production run on their automated lines. Step 5 is that rigorous 4-tier quality control we just talked about. And finally, Step 6 is logistics. They handle the container stuffing right at the factory, manage customs clearance through Xiamen Port, and dispatch the goods via global ocean freight to any of the 5 continents they serve. The whole shebang.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, take a step back. Looking at Shenghongda's incredible scale, their precise dual-core material engineering, their strict FSC eco-standards, and this flawless export workflow, you really have to ask yourself a critical question. If you're in the business of importing or retailing hygiene products, is your supply chain ready for an upgrade? Are your current manufacturing partners truly delivering at this level of integration and quality?